Why do you need a gold Rolex? This guy asked me this. It was an interesting question that he had to me. And the reality is, it had nothing to do with my gold Rolex. It had everything to do with his perception of it and his perspective on just life in general. And so I asked him back, why don't you have a gold Rolex? And he stopped, he said, I don't want one. And I was like, that's fine. But can you get a gold Rolex today? And the answer was no. It's a $50,000 watch. He couldn't physically go out and buy a gold Rolex today, okay? So there's a difference in what you can do and what you can't do. And when you judge somebody else for what they do that you actually can't even do, it shows ignorance, okay? And here's what I want to explain to you, because I grew up this way. I didn't understand people with money. I judged people's financial decisions. Why do they need that car? Why do they need that house? Why do they got to fly first class? Why do they have to fly private? Well, I didn't understand it. It didn't make sense to me because money had so much power over me. And as Christians, it's interesting because we sometimes look at wealthy people and think, oh, you know, they can't serve two masters. Their master is wealth. No, it's not. I've been broke and I've had some financial freedom. When you have money, you're not a slave to money. I don't know how much it costs to fill my car tank up. I don't know how much my water bill. I had my neighbor ask me the other day, he's like, what's your water bill? I was like, I don't know, dude. I was like, how much does it cost to fill up your car? He goes, I don't know. And we kind of laughed because we don't pay attention to it. I don't know what the bill is. I'm not totaling stuff up as my family orders. I've been there though. I've been in that situation. I grew up that way where it was like, as we're putting stuff in a shopping cart, like we're doing math. Because if we go over, we can't get it, and it's embarrassing, and you have to put things back. And so I know what it's like to struggle with money. I also know what it's like to go out and buy a $500,000 car because I can. And so the conversation I had with this guy was because he didn't understand the gold Rolex. And I said, listen, I love the gold. I like the watch. It's something I got for myself. I got it for a big accomplishment I did. I sold a company. And I said, if you haven't done some of these things, it would be wise, in my opinion, to not judge and then ask, how? Explain to me. Tell me what you had to do to get that. And listen, I had the same ignorant mindset. I judged what everyone else did without any experience of understanding it. I sat in my position with zero stackable evidence and judged how someone else, how they should have spent their money, how they should run their business, how they should do all these things. And then I transitioned and said, dude, what do I got to learn? Where am I? How am I in a position to judge these people when I really don't have anything to put up there, right? And so it's easy to judge that business person. Oh, that guy should have done this, or he's this way, or he's greedy. Dude, you've worked the same 9-to-5 job for 20 years. You have no position to judge that person. You don't know the war, you don't know the battle, you don't know the game, you can't hold the weight, right? It's easy to look at never go to a gym before and see somebody just lift 315 pounds. This looks easy. You don't understand, you don't have the concept of the physical weight of that 315 pounds on your body, the fear, the anxiety, the strength required. If all you've ever done is just look at it and judge. Okay? Same thing. So this guy, I asked him, I said, listen, why don't you have the Lamborghini? Why don't you have the abs? Why don't you have the marriage? Right? This guy was on his second unhealthy relationship. And I said, is it possible that you judge other people and you have these stories and rules and things in your head of how everything should be? And is it working for you? And so I share this with you to take a moment and realize, like, if I'm not in the position of somebody else, how can I judge them? And when I do, listen, it's something I've struggled with my whole life. So I'm sharing it with you. I want to offer you the freedom to step into the perspective and be curious, to learn, what can I learn from that person? What is it that they do different in their life that's different than me? what capacity for stress and strength and hard things do they have that I don't even have? Right? It's easy to judge. Like money's, I was having a conversation of the difference of like someone like a Donald Trump, okay? Billionaire, worth a few billion. But Donald Trump to like your Elon Musk, to like your Bezos, to like your, Zuckerberg, I have more in common with Donald Trump's financial situation, and I'm far from a billionaire, than the guy that's worth that. But we don't have that conversation in our heads. We can't conceptualize it. And I'm sharing this with you because I want you to just rethink things. Stop giving so much power to money, the gold watch, the Lamborghini. When you give it the power, it takes away your power to actually do things that are required so you could have the opportunity to do it. You don't have to buy it. I got plenty of friends make boatloads of money. They could care less about a car. They could care less about a house. They sure as heck don't care about a gold Rolex. It's not interesting to them. There's other things they care about, right? The same thing is I tithe a lot more money than my cars are worth because I put my money also things that are important to me. I like this watch. I like cars. I like my church. I put a lot of money into the church. And so when you have the flexibility to do these things, your perspective in life of what's possible, what's possible in my marriage grows, what's possible in my body grows, what's possible in the lives of every person I interact with changes. Because my mind's not limited. I'm not living in scarcity. I don't have a small mindset, and it's easy to defend it. Listen, people watching this video right now will start defending the way they think. They're going to argue with themselves about their perspective on certain things. And I'm saying, look, if it's a limiting perspective, consider yourself wrong. Consider yourself wanting to be open and learn things. And it took me most of my life to understand this. The longer I went believing I had it all figured out, believing I understood how someone should spend their money and they don't need that, or they don't need this, or who needs that much money, or who needs that watch, or who needs that car, I'm wrong, because I was never in a position to actually accomplish those things. I'm just standing on the sidelines full of judgment. That will keep you stuck your entire life. Consider it. Don't hate the gold Rolex.